wheat uniforms. They'll be heading screen right. Edmonton Stingers wearing their white uniforms with the gold trim heading screen left. Ambrose Hilton jumping up against Jaden Bediako. Opening tip is controlled by Edmonton, although low marks I'm giving that opening tip. We're going to redo that one.
We're just going to go inbound it. I love these alternates that the Stingers are wearing. They're simple, but they are clean. They look old school classic, and I love the little stripe down the side too.
Yeah, I agree with you. The reset gives us a chance to tell you that tip-off, although it was perhaps subpar, it was presented by Spalding, the official game ball of the CEBL. And the good news is Saskatchewan Rattlers ball out of bounds. Good news if you're a Rattlers fan, of course. The way through, getting the friendly roll. Well, that's a good start. Tevian Jones with the friendly roll.
Lovely Euro step right there off the hop.
Sean East the second controls. Bediako comes way out to pick him up, and that leaves his man open down low. Easy basket for Keon Ambrose Hilton. You like Jaden Bediako thinking about helping out up high, but none of his teammates picked up his man that he left open, so we're tied up at 2. Very early going from Saskatoon. Grant anticipates, he hesitates, puts up the shot. That was no good. Second chance here for the Rattlers.
Spitting bars over here, Simon.
Doing what I can. Limited skills. Work with what you got. Nice touch from outside. Hot start in this one. Tevian Jones. Scotty Lindsay, good ball movement once again. Easy basket down low. And that is something that has been a bit of a bugaboo for the Rattlers this season. We've seen it twice already in this game. Guys getting free down low. No one there to stop them. Jaden Bediako. Big man looking to attack. His shot, mid-distance, comes up well short. Ball lost, out of bounds. Will go back over to the Saskatchewan Rattlers.
Almost seemed like Bediako was anticipating some more of a contest on that last shot attempt, and came up well short there.
Our officials tonight, crew chief is Neil Donnelly. Umpires, Chris Brischuk and Mitch Strom. Keeping the peace, blowing the whistles, wearing the gray. This is Bediako down low. Trying to muscle his way, and that's a nice little move and a little bit of a hook there to finish it. That's a good shot for Jaden Bediako.
Yeah, it's one of his best moves that he's got in his bag, and love to see him use it a little bit more frequently.
Sean East the second, back up high. Scotty Lindsay going to pull back, put up the three-pointer. That one comes up well short. The crowd will let him know about that. Devontae Bandu controls for Saskatchewan. Finds Bediako down low. Bediako again to the hook. A little bit off the mark. Trying to go off the glass on that shot. So it remains a 3-point Rattlers lead here in the early going. Lindsay, that's a better shot for him. He attacks down low to make it a 1-point game. It's interesting seeing what the Rattlers are doing at the point with the loss of Nate Pierre-Louis, who's left the team. It's been kind of an all-hands-on-deck kind of approach. They feel like they've got a bunch of guys who can do the ball handling.
Yeah, 3 kind of primary ball handlers now in Bandu, Jones, and Bowden.
Buzzer sounds. The shot did hit the rim. Now the officials will get together and talk about whose ball it is. I'm anticipating this will go to Edmonton. Now the third official is going to come in and talk about it.
Full huddle here. But just to continue on that tack of the change in the offense here for Saskatchewan, with the difference in the fact that they don't have a significant single primary ball handler, it affects how you have to defend, and you have to be more of a one-on-one matchup team because there's less of that, as Eric Magdan's likes to talk about, gravity, pulling the defense to one player.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting, heading to that discussion between the officials. I thought it would go Edmonton's ball, and then I saw the replay, and I thought it went off of Mason Boursier of Edmonton, and then they gave the ball to Edmonton. So clearly I don't know what I'm talking about. And as the official was running by, Coach Magdens was asking him because he thought one of the officials had given the jump ball signal, and he just wanted some clarification on that in his likable, affable Eric Magdens way. Jones will look to drive. He goes off the glass again a little bit hard, but there to clean it up, Jaden Bediako.
There's a guy who's really been growing and developing throughout this season. We're starting to see him start to really assert his authority inside in these last few games.
Nick Hornsby left 2 all alone up high. He hits for 3. That gives Edmonton a lead. Anticevich looking for the answer on the other end. He can't get it. Bediako had the rebound momentarily but couldn't corral it. So back come the Stingers up to a chance to add to it. East is going to snap it up high, and that one's going to sail out of bounds back over to the Snakes.
Just a little too tall there for Scotty Lindsay, but Hornsby with that 3 moments ago, and there's a guy that you might not think you look at him, you might not think he's like your typical 3-point shooter, but you cannot leave him open for takes like that. He will make you pay.
Get cash back on Rattler ticket purchases at cebl.ca/Neo when using your Neo credit card. Sign up now and receive 15% off your single game tickets. Oh, great move, and the seas parted. Easy dunk, a pretty one nonetheless. Tevian Jones.
Off to a hot start here in his second home game as a Rattler.
Bediako able to disrupt the attack down low from Hornsby. Last touch by Saskatchewan, so it'll stay with the Stingers. That'll allow Anthony Tikakili to check in for his first shift of the night for the Snakes. 5:34 to go, first quarter. All knotted up at 11. Scotty Lindsay again looking to hit from distance. This one better than his previous attempt, but still won't drop. Rattlers come away with it, doing a good job in the early going on the on the defensive rebounds. Jones looking to attack. He's got a triple team. He needs someone to come and help him out, and only finds the hands of the Stingers. Is coming away with it is Elijah Miller, who's come into the game for Edmonton. Hornsby to Lindsay. Lindsay off balance shot. He wanted the foul there on Tikakili. Doesn't get it. Back come the Snakes. Anticevich for 3.
Well, they're letting him play so far here, Simon, and that produces a 3-pointer that might not otherwise have happened if they made the call there.
So the lead is 3 now for Saskatchewan. Halfway through the first quarter. Crowd making some good noise.
In Bediako to operate differently. That's what Coach Eric Magnan says about his performance improving. But he says it's not just that. He's improved his confidence, his ability to deal with adversity, and that's led to things like his career high in Ottawa of 23 points and tying the league record for rebounds with 20. He's become more of an impact player for the team.
Great stuff. Thank you, H-Mo. Tevian Jones continues his great work. Oh, what a start he's off to. All of a sudden, he's in double digits flats.
Just a tremendous start. At 31 points in his Rattlers debut. Looking to top that, by the way. He's going here to start. But if I can pick up on what Heather was just talking about with Jaden Bediako, and it's easy to forget. You look at a big man, and you think, oh, he's got the size. But you have to remember, he's only a year into his professional basketball career.
Absolutely.
He had a very big learning curve experience over in Europe in his first season overseas. And that kind of carried into the start of this season. He was still trying to find that confidence. And so Coach Magnan says we've worked with him on building that up, but also just like him getting used to being able to play in the post. He's more of a traditional post-playing big man. He's not going to leap up and run the floor as much as some of the new school big men, but he can really dominate down low.
Tough start to the shift for Alex Garcia. Just checked in for the Saskatchewan Rattlers and immediately commits a foul on a 3-point shot, which is why Scotty Lindsay has been spending a significant amount of time here in the last few moments at the free throw line. He hits all 3. That'll knot things up at 17. Jordan Bowden's going to check into the game. Grant Anticevich will head to the bench for the Saskatchewan Rattlers. 4:14 to go, first quarter. Bowden, another one of those guys, as we were talking about, that Coach Magnan trusts to do the ball handling. He gets it up ahead into the hot hands of Tevian Jones, and here's a heat check, and he won't hit the shot, but he'll get a chance to add some points from the free throw line as Nick Hornsby looks on in disbelief.
Now, it'll be interesting to see another look at this. It's kind of in front of us, but blocked out a little bit by the body of Jones, so I didn't get a great look on the... Well, this will give us a good idea. A little contact on the elbow, and I guess that was enough to get the whistle.
So 3 free throws for Jones. Elijah Faje's checked in his first shift for the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Jones hits the first of 3. That'll give Saskatchewan a 1-point lead, make it 2. This one struggled a little bit on its way through, but does a few laps around the rim and drops.
73% free throw shooter, at least in his time with the Rattlers this year.
Jones good on all three. So the lead is 3 for Saskatchewan. Under 4 to go, first quarter. Smith controls. It's Chris Smith fresh into the game for the Stingers. Long distance shot won't go. Lands in the lap of Garcia. He'll head in the other direction, being harassed all the way. It's Miller guarding him. And Garcia will pick up the dribble, get it into the hands of Jones. He draws the double team, looks up high for Anthony Tigakili, who momentarily loses the ball, picks it up, looks to attack, and draws contact.
Well, clearly Saskatchewan is making a real concerted effort to get to the rim here in this opening quarter. I like the decision there by Anthony Tigakili. You could see him think about putting up a 3 for a brief moment, but driving it hard, and he gets a trip to the line.
Scotty Lindsay will check out. East the second comes in. Joining him will be Aaron Rooms. Rooms' first shift of the night as Nick Hornsby also checks out for the Stingers. Tigakili to the free throw line for the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Long time Saskatchewan Rattler is Anthony Tigakili. Hits the second one, so lead 4 now for the Snakes. Under 3.5 to go first quarter. This is Sean East the second. Now Ambrose Hilton. Back to Miller. He works his way through. Great ball movement by Edmonton. Ends up in the hands of Keon Ambrose Hilton down low. He gets the lay-in.
What a terrific pass in traffic there by Miller. Just a beautiful little dish.
Tigakili flips it for Jones. He looks to attack with the left hand. Now, while guarded, go pull up for the long distance 2. It misses. So back come the Stingers. A chance to tie or take the lead. East the second, looking towards the corner. Anthony Tigakili gets a hand on it and knocks it out of bounds. Cal Tire is the proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com. Monte Bandu back into the game for Saskatchewan. 2:35 remaining first quarter. Miller, a bit of an awkward trip through. Thought he might have walked, but does get the friendly roll.
Yeah, the Rattlers may have gotten away with a foul there, too.
Jones will pick up the dribble. This is Jordan Bowden up high. He's got East on him. Passes for Elijah Fajay. He'll draw contact on the inside.
Good to see there from the backup big for the Rattlers. Needs to give them some productive minutes, as their depth at that spot is not maybe as strong as some other teams. And so they need less of a significant drop-off between Bediako and Afeje when Elijah Afeje comes on the floor.
Afeje to the free throw line, misses the front end. Game remains tied at 21. Grant Anticevich back into the game for the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Afeje hits the second. The lead 1 for Saskatchewan. A fast-paced, entertaining first quarter. Miller will pick up the dribble. This is Smith. A couple of dribbles between his legs. He'll pick it up back outside for Miller, who looks to attack. He might have had a path to the basket. Instead, kicks it back outside for the three-point attempt. And it looks like we'll get a foul on the floor. Looks like it's going to go against Elijah Afeje.
Hopefully get a look at it here as the rebound. Must have been some contact. Couldn't quite see it there, but Afeje picks up the foul.
Under 2 to go first quarter. This is East. His path shut down by Tigakili. He's got an open man under the basket. Really nice shot. Chris Smith. Circus shot.
And you know, the Stingers have kept a pretty consistent roster throughout this season, but that's one midseason addition that has really paid off for them. And Chris Smith, the former Montreal Alliance player last year, giving them really good minutes off the bench since joining the team. Now, it's already actually 15th game of the season, so not really a mid-season edition, but
right, yeah,
a couple weeks into the season at least.
Jaden Bediako back into the game for Saskatchewan. Isaac Simon in his first shift. This is Bandu trying to create a little space, matched up against Miller. Bandu will dribble through underneath the basket, then leads to a wide open take for a mid-range jumper. And Devontae Bandu is good on those.
Just cleared out that side of the baseline.
Why is there no one near me? I guess I'll shoot. Smith gets the bounce past Bediako, doing all he can down low. He was saying that's good defense, but he's going to be called for the foul.
The league leader in block shots thought he had another one there, but going to get called for a little extra contact as we get a second look at it there. Yeah, it looked like he maybe got him on the wrist. Well, you talk about the maturation again of Jaden Bediako, and that's been a big thing for him. Even talking to him when he showed up for this season, saying learning how to play within the whistle and adjust to the whistle and not getting distracted by the calls you are or are not getting.
Ambrose Hilton at the free throw line. This is the second. Now we'll get a foul about 90 feet away from the basket, which coaches love.
Yeah, Elijah Miller trying to pick up Bandu in the backcourt. He was right up in his chest there, but a little too close for comfort apparently.
You mentioned Jaden Bediako and his skills at blocking shots. He's actually threatening the single-season mark for block shots. Both he and Greg Brown III of the surge within striking distance at 37. The record held by E.J. Onu at 46. Of course, that in a 20-game season. And Devontae Bandu doing what he does, hitting from distance.
Wait, say it again. Devontae
Bandu.
There we go. That feels a lot more appropriate.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for setting me up.
You got it.
He's got that Bandu attitude. That one just I've been calling this guy for years, and that one just occurred to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a new one.
Yeah.
Hey.
Breaking them all out tonight. Getting late in the season. Clearing out the warehouse, folks. Jaden Bediako, good defense on this one. Second chance rolls around and will drop.
Yeah, the big 6'9" forward from Chicago, Chris Smith, using every inch of his frame there to get the put back.
1 point game down to 4 seconds remaining. Isaac Simon will put up the final shot of the first quarter. Isaac point lead after 10 minutes played here in the Saskatchewan Center. Simon Hyatt, Ryan Flaherty, Heather Morrison, a newly bespectacled Heather Morrison. More on that later. We'll tell you all about that.
That'll be for
saga.
Fashion Corner. What do we call that? I forget what that segment's called on CEBL Weekly.
It's called Fashion.
It's called Fashion. Look it up. There we go.
Grant Anticevich. It's called a three-pointer. Rattlers by 6. Oh, that was a long 2. I thought you were wagging your finger at me, but no, he was telling me it was a 2-pointer, which is much friendlier and more helpful. I appreciate it.
You're breaking the fourth wall.
Shawnee's the second. After a bit of a slow start for him, and this one has a nice touch from distance for Edmonton. That'll make it a 4-point game. Devontae Bandu controls for Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan has enjoyed the lead for much of this one, but it's been close, and a big block getting way up into the air. Keon Ambrose Hilton knocks it out of there. Contact on the other end.
That's going to go on Simon on the block. He is fearless. He will stand in and take those charges. But I think he was just a little late getting his footing established as we take a look at the block at the other end by Keon Ambrose Hilton. Get up, big fella.
That is a big man.
Yeah, Simon was still in motion there.
Tevian Jones will replace Isaac Simon. Scotty Lindsay to the free throw line, former Rattler. Having a nice season for the Edmonton Stingers.
Yeah, very solid season indeed for Scotty in his third year now in the league. Started off with the Rattlers back in 2022, but 4 target score winners this year to lead the Edmonton Stingers.
Second leading scorer for Edmonton.
And he had the winner here last time they were here.
And he cuts the Rattlers' lead to 2. Bandu being hassled by Mason Boursier. Grant Anticevich had the open look. Can't hit. Trio of Stingers there for the rebound. This is Hornsby looking to attack. Get a foul called, but looks like it's going to go against Jordan Bowden. We'll see.
Him or Bandu?
No, it's Bandu.
Yeah. They both reached in to the cookie jar there, but only one got caught. Yeah. There's a couple of hands on the body there by Bantu.
Maybe a trip as well.
Yeah.
All in all, I would say that justice was served correctly.
Yeah.
This is Scotty Lindsay. 8:33 to go. Second quarter of action. Bediako way out on him. I don't know if he got a hand
I think
on
he
that.
got a piece of that. I thought I saw a little piece.
Open look. Corner. Devontae. Bandu!
Telling you, you cannot leave him open. I mean, that's one of the most Captain Obvious things you can say.
Loves that spot in the corner. Hornsby passes on the open shot. Gets it to the hands of Boursier. Thinks about driving. Instead, dishes for Sean East II. Tries to wrap the pass around. Luckily for Edmonton, ends up in the hands of Scotty Lindsay. Second chance won't go for Sean East II, but he will get free throws.
Scotty Lindsay just struggling a bit to find his range so far, but good news for Edmonton is they've got the likes of Sean East II putting his body on the line underneath the hoop for a second chance opportunity. Going up against some bigger bodies inside.
Sean East II out of Louisville, Kentucky. Some people say Louisville,
yeah,
but I've been corrected. You're supposed to say Louisville.
It's Louisville. It's almost like one syllable.
What's that baseball bat you got? It's a Louisville Slugger. Sean East II having an outstanding season for the Stingers, averaging 23.4 points a game and also a great free throw shooter. Hits just under 90% on the season, and here he's brought the Stingers back within three. Tevian Jones loses the handle on that pass from Anticevich. Nice bounce pass back ahead, trying to find Scotty Lindsay was Mason Boursier. Instead, it's Grant Anticevich who comes away with it for the Rattlers. They'll reset up high. This is Bediako drawing the double team. Nice turnaround shot using that strength and size for Bediako.
He's got great soft hands inside. We've seen it already on a couple of buckets where he's really got that lovely little touch.
East can't find the opening, so he'll dish it out. That one won't drop for Keon Ambrose. Back come the Rattlers, up 5. Chance to add to it. Grant Anticevich on the run for 3. Large of keeping Sean East II in check. He is up to 6 points now with more on the star out of Louisville. Here's Heather Morrison.
Well, you mentioned his ability to shoot the 3. Watch for his next one, because that's what it is going to put him up at 500 points in a single season. Only 2 other players in the CEBL have matched that, and that would be players familiar with Saskatchewan, Teddy Allen, as well as Justin Ray Foreman. But one of the things about Sean East is the fact that he was offered the opportunity to go to the NBA Summer League, and he turned it down. Felt it would be better to stick around and continue bonding with his team. He felt like that is what was going to help them get to Winnipeg. Simon, action on the floor. I'll throw it back to you.
Thanks, H-Mo. Yeah, great play once again by Isaac Simon coming up with the steal. That's going to lead to free throws for him. And yeah, what a great season for Sean East II. Been impressed with him throughout his time here in the CBL.
He has to be getting some MVP consideration this season. He's 3rd in the league in scoring. He's played every game. And I mean, obviously, this is a developmental league, and other guys will go to Summer League or they'll leave midseason for different opportunities. But it's really remarkable to look at this Edmonton team and see the 3 players who have suited up for every game or have played in every game this year are 3 imports. And that is not common.
No, you're right. Isaac Simon uncharacteristically missing both of his free throws, then almost makes a great play to keep it alive, but it's Edmonton who comes away with it. They'll come away with 2 points, cut their deficit to 6. Tevian Jones controls for Saskatchewan. Jones, mid-range jumper, that one won't drop. And yeah, I mean, again, so impressive what Heather said about a guy passing on a chance to play in the NBA Summer League because he wants to stay here and play in the CBL. The Rattlers come away with it. Isaac Simon outside, long shot. That one drops. Jordan Bowden. About Sean East II, a guy who's an emerging star in this league. The Rattlers might have one of their own. Saw some great highlights there from Tevian Jones. Off to a quick start in this one. He's up to 13 points on the night. It's been impressive to watch. Contact once again. More free throw opportunities for Edmonton coming out of their second timeout in rapid succession. Looks like this one's going to go against Elijah Fage.
Well, Tevian Jones, I think the thing that really makes him sort of pop off the screen or off the floor at you is his athleticism. He's obviously got some length in that sort of guard/forward role, but those long legs, he can get a step around a defender, and he's just so quick on the first step, and he's got such an array of moves that he is a very tough player to defend.
Tay Donald fresh into the game for the Edmonton Stingers. He hits a pair of free throws. That'll pull Edmonton within 7, approaching the midpoint of the second quarter. Simon hands it off for Afage. This is Bowden up high. A little bit of a screen there from Afage. Now Simon once again. He'll look to attack Isaac Simon. What a great move. I thought he was going to pass it behind him, and he just brought it back around. Laid it in. Great take.
Like a little crow hop in there, like lacrosse style, before you're about to take a shot.
5 minutes to go. First half of action from Saskatoon. An important game for the Stingers. Important game for the Rattlers because they always like beating the Stingers. Time getting short on the shot clock. Turnaround shot does just get a bit of the rim, but it doesn't matter. Isaac Simon will come away with the loose ball for Saskatchewan. Grant Anticevich hand in his face. That shot no good. Chris Smith there for the rebound. He'll head down the floor. Isaac Simon down to the floor. Nick Hornsby with the easy lay-in.
Isaac Simon is a sturdy guy, and Chris Smith just brushed him off like an annoying fly right there.
This is Bowden. Out on him is Donald. Down to the ground.
Yeah, feet just getting tangled up there between Donald and Afage, who had a little bit of something going on Sunday night in Edmonton.
Right.
Wondering if we might see any of that carry over in this rare back-to-back matchup, but that was more inadvertent than anything.
Yeah, that one seemed pretty incidental.
Yeah.
Fage with an interesting-looking scoop shot. That one won't go. So back comes Edmonton. Long distance bounce pass somehow finds the target. Unfortunately, Donald unable to keep it alive, but apparently the ball last touched by Saskatchewan. Oh, it will be a foul actually against Saskatchewan. Wow, that blew up disastrously on the Snakes.
Yeah, just a little bit of contact here. Talk about a pass, at least attempt there. Bowden got his hand on it, but that had a smoke trail behind it from Nick Hornsby.
Jaden Bediako back in for Saskatchewan. Donald once again to the free throw line.
Well, you look at this Edmonton team. Sorry, Simon, I was just going to say, when you look at this Edmonton team, and, you know, after that 7-game win streak, they've dropped 3 of 4. And Jordan Baker, the head coach, he just says we need to get back to the basics. Defensive rebounding, transition defense, sharing the ball. I would suggest there's still some work to be done in that department here in this opening half. I would guess he's not overly satisfied on those fronts.
Yeah, you're probably right. Tay Donald with 4 consecutive free throws has brought Edmonton closer. Nice bounce past Jaden Bediako with the hesitation. Waits finds the opening lead back up to 5 for Saskatchewan. Elijah Miller will pick up the dribble. This is Nick Hornsby. Bowden out on him. Hornsby trying to create space against Bowden. Looked like he might have dragged that foot. You might be able to hear it through my mic. Eric Magnet's calling for that travel. It sure looked like he dragged it to me.
No question what he thought.
Grant Anticevich, now Isaac Simon. Lead down to 5 for Saskatchewan. Simon's shot may have been disrupted by Edmonton. Donald down to the floor. He's able to get back up. He passes off for Mason Boursier.
Boursier was missing before.
Every ounce of emotion now in 4K.
You can see it. We were talking before the game. Heather had an issue with her contacts. She was hoping someone would bring her glasses to her. Everything's fine. She's got her glasses. She can see it all. She's going to be bringing it to you in even more detail. Shot clock getting short here on the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Long distance touch. Jordan Bowden, a long 2.
It was 3, sorry.
It was 3.
Yeah.
Now you're just screwing me up with these finger gestures of yours.
Know.
Second chance for Edmonton following the miss. They won't get it. Garcia comes away with the strip. Rattlers briefly had numbers. Going to be Bowden on the run for three, and we'll get a foul called against Edmonton.
Well, and the reason I was confusingly waggling two fingers in your face, Simon, is because with that three, Jordan Bowden now 2 points away from 500 in his career. Now, obviously, Nick East, as we heard earlier, he's going to do it in one season. But still, this is just game number 30 in the CEBL career for Jordan Bowden.
Right.
That's a pretty impressive pace to get to 500 as well, averaging over 18 points a game in his CEBL career. And certainly he's been very important for this Rattlers team, even more so now that Nate Pierre-Louis has departed.
Mass substitutions for Edmonton. Anthony Keeley will check in for Saskatchewan while Jordan Bowden takes some free throws. We're going to let you know coming up at the half, we got the power rankings from CEBL Weekly. We'll have a visiting head coach interview with Jordan Baker, halftime stats, and we'll revisit those players to watch that Flats gave to us off the top of the show. Up to a 6-point lead now for Saskatchewan. Bowden hits the second of three.
There's 500.
There it is. Give him the ball. No, they're just going to play on it.
And you know what? I want to give a congratulations, too, to Jordan Bowden, who knows where he's going to be playing this winter. He's got himself signed to a deal playing over in Italy coming up here in the fall, and he's very excited for his first chance to play in the Italian League in the first division.
Yeah, that is exciting. Turnaround shot, nice touch. That'll drop for Chris Smith. So back to a 5-point game, under 2 to go, second quarter. Garcia controls for Saskatchewan, ahead for Bowden. Bowden up into the air. That one won't drop. Scotty Lindsay able to come away with the rebound. Slowing things down a bit. Wraparound pass from Lindsay to Smith leads to the long take. That one no good for Tay Donald. So back come the Snakes. Just under a minute and a half to go second quarter. Open look, Jordan Bowden from the corner for three.
Well, quiet first quarter, but the captain is heating up now.
Contact away from the ball. Looks like it'll probably be Anthony Keeley called for the foul.
One look at his face is all you need there.
You know who could analyze that really well is Heather Morris. She can see that expression from a great distance. Ambrose Hilton to the free throw line following the foul against Anthony Keeley. Rooms will replace Donald for the Edmonton Stingers.
You know, we've talked a lot in this first half about Jaden Bediako and his growth with this Rattlers team in here as a pro, but we've got two, if not three, of the best rebounders in the league in this game. Not just in Bediako, but Keon Ambrose Hilton, averaging 8.5 a game, and so is Nick Hornsby as well, or he's close to that, just over 8. So some big fellas doing some good work on the glass featured in this matchup.
1 for 2 from the free throw line, Ambrose Hilton. I don't know if Bowden just lost the handle on that or if he got it stripped. It was odd looking, but it's going to lead to a big dunk for Chris Smith. Makes it a 5-point game. Interesting on the score sheet. Adding to his team-leading total, Tevian Jones, he's up to 15. 8 points apiece for Devontae Bandu, Grant Anticevich, and Jaden Bediako. Now Jordan Bowden up to 11 points. So both he and Tevian Jones into double digits for the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Time getting short in the second quarter. The Rattlers enjoying a 7-point lead over their arch rival Edmonton Stingers. Driving and drawing contact is Edmonton's Chris Smith. Foul will go against Saskatchewan's Alex Garcia. It'll be his second of the game. Devontae Bandu up off the bench. He'll replace Garcia. 27.1 to go in the second quarter. Feels like Edmonton spent a lot of time at the free throw line here in the first half.
Must have read my keys to the game.
Have you been sharing your notes again with it?
Well, you know, it's something I did talk with Jordan Baker about earlier today, and he said, you know, sometimes we do have a tendency to dance around a little bit and maybe not get so physical attacking the rim, and he acknowledged that he'd like to see them do a little bit more of that because, again, they're the best free throw shooting team in the league, but they take the fewest free throws. So, I mean, give yourself 6 or 8 easy points. Just get to the line more. And they're between breaks.
57-51 is our score coming out of the timeout. Pressure from Edmonton on the inbounds. Monte Bandu needs a little help. He gets it from Jordan Bowden. About a 2-second difference between shot and game clock as time gets short here in the second quarter. Rattlers appear very much to be poised to take a lead into the locker room at the half. How big will that lead be? Tevian Jones can't get the friendly roll. Edmonton now with a chance at a last-second shot. It's going to be Hornsby running the floor, putting up the running float shot. That one won't go.
That is important for them because they cannot rely entirely on him to carry all of the mail offensively.
Back to our game in Saskatoon, underway in the second half of play. Saskatchewan Rattlers out of the half with a 6-point lead. Edmonton with the first possession of the second half, looking to claim what would be an important victory for them if they want to keep their hopes of hosting a playoff game alive. Those hopes will evaporate if Saskatchewan comes away with a victory tonight. So you know Saskatchewan would love to do that. And that's a good start to the second half. Strong take, Jordan Bowden.
I'm really watching to see what kind of intensity the Stingers have here to start this third quarter because they've been out-competed, I think, in the opening 20 minutes of this game. Not by a wide margin, mind you, but just enough to give the Rattlers what is now an 8-point lead.
Shot is waved off. Foul came first. So the Edmonton ball out of bounds, down 8. This is Sean East the second. Bit of a quiet first half for him, the leading scorer for the Edmonton Stingers. Just 6 points in the first half, so we'll see if he can turn that around in the second half. Nice take here by Scotty Lindsay. Once again, sees just part, and he gets the easy lay-in.
I've mentioned it before this season, but if you're struggling to shoot the three, get yourself inside, get to the rim, and get that good feeling of seeing the ball go through the hoop. Then maybe you can start to find your stroke from outside.
This is Bandu. Boursier out on him. Now Bediako, time getting short on the clock. Turnaround shot, that one won't go. Bediako had a good touch in the first half. Misses his first shot here in the second. Beautiful lob pass ahead and finished off the alley-oop on the receiving end. Keon Ambrose Hilton. Pass was just a little bit off the mark, but man, he made a great adjustment to finish that one off.
And it started with a defensive play, right? He had the contest on Bediako at the other end, forced the shot to go short, and then hustling down the floor, which, as we just heard from Jordan Baker, is something the Stingers would like to see a lot more of here in this second half. So nice sequence there for the big fella from Toronto.
This is Jones. He misses his first shot. His second shot here in the second half. Long-range pass out of bounds. Unable to corral it was Ambrose Hilton. So back over to Saskatchewan, up 4.
I like the thought there, though, from Hornsby, trying to catch the Rattlers before they get back and set up their half-court defense.
Bandu controls for Saskatchewan. Just about 2 minutes into the third quarter of play. Jordan Bowden, I thought he was going to pass off and maybe made the late adjustment, puts up the shot and nails it.
Mid-range assassin, Jordan Bowden. He can hit the three as well. We saw him fill up the bucket from three in a game earlier this year, but he has got such a great set of moves in the mid-range.
The backcourt violation call was slow in coming. The first official didn't call it. Maybe he thought that it was Saskatchewan who knocked it back there, but then the second official said, no, that was a backcourt violation. So ball does go to the Rattlers. 7:48 to go, third quarter. Snakes by 6 with the ball. Bediako matched up against Ambrose Hilton. Turnaround hook, that one won't go. A bit of a slow start to the third quarter after a great first half for Bediako. Bounce pass outside, open look. Mason Boursier for 3. Battle for the loose ball. That one won by Bediako. Tough battle down low. This is Anticevich up high. He'll flip it off into the hands of Bowden. Bowden draws the double team. He's going to get up into the air once again. Nice touch, Jordan Bowden.
With a look on his face that says, I can do this all night.
He's now taken over as the Rattlers' leading scorer on the evening. He's up to 17 points. Nice touch with the answer on the other end. Scotty Lindsay.
Finally gets the lid off the basket from outside the arc.
Lead 5 for Saskatchewan. with the ball. This is Bandu. Boursier on him. High float shot. That one won't go. Ambrose Hilton. Nice touch on the other end. That'll make it a 2-point game for the Edmonton Stingers.
Another good, quick, decisive pass there by Hornsby to set up the corner three for Sean East II. And Edmonton's really hanging around here and getting back in. They have a chance to get a stop and maybe take the lead at the other end.
Yeah, good momentum here for the Stingers. Anthony Tigakili up off the bench. Miller as well for Edmonton. Championship weekend is coming to Winnipeg. Don't miss your opportunity to be a part of the biggest event of the summer. Single game and event packs are on sale now. Can't wait for championship weekend.
And that 3 by East, Simon, that's the 500 point in a season milestone. Just the third player in league history to do that.
Yeah, that's impressive.
And it's an important basket that he made it on, too, to really tighten the screws a little bit here on the Rattlers. And this is something that's been an issue for Saskatchewan all season. They've had 10 of their losses in which they have led in the second half.
Yeah, you can feel the momentum shifting in favor of the Edmonton Stingers as Bediako misses yet again. Now a chance to tie or take the lead for Edmonton. This is Sean East II. He'll get up in the air off the glass. Nice touch. That'll knot things up at 63. Bandu controls. Approaching the midpoint of the third quarter. That shot well off the mark, but luckily for Saskatchewan, it lands in the lap.
That was a pass, Simon. That was a pass.
Sure. I'll go with it.
He's about to get an assist there. He should.
He should, really. Hornsby, now Lindsay. Tigakili will pick him up, losing the handle, but there to clean it up, Sean East II. 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Time getting short with 3 seconds on the shot clock. That shot will be waved off. The buzzer sounds first, so that will be a shot clock violation against the Stingers. So a 2-point Saskatchewan lead with the ball.
Rattlers got a bit lucky there as they kind of sort of decided that the possession was over, and it was a hair from giving up a basket there. Keon Ambrose Hilton did not quit on that play, but just a fraction of a second too late on the release.
Nice pass. Bediako once again down low, but he lost the handle or drew contact. Edmonton on the run. Hornsby looking to Euro step his way to the basket.
Not too concerned. One of the things I want you to watch for, though, is what Bandu told me earlier about what led to their success in that earlier match against Edmonton earlier this week, was that they made Edmonton play hero ball, either because they couldn't get the pass off or they weren't passing because they wanted to be the hero of the game. There's a couple times tonight, Scotty Lindsay wide open, not getting the pass. I'm seeing a little bit of frustration coming from him as well. So just watch out for the hero ball aspect.
Great stuff. Thanks, HMO. Nick Hornsby hits a pair of free throws to tie the game up at 65, and he checks out of the game for Edmonton. So the halftime lead for the Snakes has evaporated. Bandu. This is Tevin Jones. Nice touch. Tevin Jones gets the bounce off the glass. He had a great first half. A bit of a quiet start here in the third quarter. We'll see if that gets him going as he gives the Rattlers back a 2-point lead.
Oh, he's still upset. He thought he was fouled on that shot. He's still talking about it as he goes back to play defense.
Great defense from Anthony Tigakili as he denies that pass. Rattlers will go on the run. Good job just to keep it alive by Jordan Bowden. He'll put up the shot from the corner. That one no good. Edmonton will come away with it.
Good box out there by Chris Smith on the glass.
Sean East II up into the air. Can't get it to go, but the foul will be called. This will go against Bandu.
Well, Heather was just talking about that Edmonton, what the Rattlers were able to do defensively against Edmonton on Sunday, and it really, really was magnified in target time when Edmonton had that 5-point lead on the verge of hitting the target, and then the Rattlers started to frustrate them and really isolated East and forced him to hoist up some tough shots. And that's some of that little bit of hero ball they were talking about. And And it led to their opportunity to come back and ultimately win the game on a scramble drill that saw almost every player on the floor actually touch the ball, in a stark contrast to that sort of ISO hero ball style.
Fourth foul of the game on Devontae Bandu, as that just gets added to his tally. So he's out. Isaac Simon in for Saskatchewan. Once again, all tied up, and once again, Edmonton really making a living from the free throw line tonight. Elijah Feje also in for Saskatchewan. He can't find it. Anthony Tigakili cleans it up.
Well, that's what he's good at, is crashing the glass.
Then he does a great job to get back on defense, as it looked like, again, Edmonton was looking for that deep ball. Now a chance for Saskatchewan to add to their 2-point lead, and they do. Jones, 4-3.
Well, he was quiet to start this half, but he's shown in his brief time with the Rattlers, he has a knack for scoring big buckets at big times, and that one certainly qualifies.
That gives him 20 on the night. Scotty Lindsay from way deep. That one won't go. He's able to track down the loose ball. Unfortunately, Feje just didn't get up there and grab it.
He was already looking to go down the other way.
Jones looking for the answer, and he's got it. Tavian Jones heating up, 23 points on the night.
Elijah Miller was there, but he didn't get a hand up. He just let Jones take that shot.
Smith's pass to the basket is shut down. A little bit of contact. Ball just out of bounds, letting them play. Once again are the officials. Back over to Saskatchewan.
You saw Chris Smith just kind of tap his chest there, say, that one's on me. Tried to force a short pass into a space where there really wasn't any available, with Simon all over Miller there. And there's a turnover. See if the Rattlers can turn it into points.
Fans, you can get cash back on Stingers ticket purchases at cbl.ca/Neo when using your Neo credit card. Sign up now and receive a $25 bonus. Jones in traffic. Big battle down low. We'll get a whistle. Jordan Baker talking to the official.
That's going to go on Edmonton.
Yep.
Bursey.
Maybe that's what Jordan Baker is talking about. Grant Anticevich is back into the game for the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Back up to a 6-point lead for the Snakes with the ball. That same advantage they enjoyed at the half.
Yeah, Bursey got the arm lock there on Feje and just sort of backed him off the floor.
Simon bounces off for Feje. Tough look there. Rattlers keep it alive. Ball didn't hit the rim. Isaac Simon, this is the buzzer sounds, does get the rim, but nothing else. Ball knocked out of bounds. Will stay with Saskatchewan.
Isaac Simon, I know the shot didn't drop there, but he just put Elijah Miller on skates with those crossovers.
Rattlers by 6. They have led by as many as 9 in this one. 1:48 to go, third quarter. This is Simon up high, always the spark plug off the bench. He'll draw contact from behind. Stumbling his way through was Miller, knocking Simon to the ground.
The body language from Elijah Miller here in these last couple of minutes has not been great if you're a Stingers fan. And he's that foul, a bit of a product of frustration, is he clearly did not have position. Just almost bear hugging Isaac Simon to try to reach around from behind to knock that ball loose. Pretty easy call.
Isaac Simon, free throws have been tough for him tonight. He's now 0 for 3 from the free throw line. Don't expect that from the youngster.
No, and it's been a bit of a downward trend from the Rattlers as a team throughout the second half of the season, as their team percentage from the line has just slowly been dropping. And that's a big, significant reason why perhaps they're don't have quite as many wins on the ledger, because they played so many close games this season.
Bursey hands off for East. This is Hornsby back, getting it matched up against Anticevich, down to 6 on the shot clock. Elijah Miller on the outside, knocking it away. Loose ball. Shot won't get off, although pretty good look at it again as the buzzer sounds. It won't count. Good defense from Saskatchewan.
Well, Tigakili was licking his chops at the prospect of a breakaway throwdown right there, but, you'll take the shot clock violation and get the possession, but he doesn't get a lot of opportunities like that. He's going, geez, could have had that one.
Rattlers by 7 with the ball. Just over a minute to go here in the third quarter from Saskatoon. Elijah Feje looking to attack. Fallback jumper. That one won't go. Comes up well short. Miller will come away with it. This is East on the run. He loves that running take. This first one won't go. Can't give him a second look because he won't miss a second time.
I mean, for a guard, he's shooting the ball at 54% on the season. So he's not shy about getting inside and getting those higher percentage looks. And he makes good on them more often than not.
Tevian Jones looking for the three-pointer on the other end. That one won't go. Big battle for the loose ball. In there was Feje. And then he's going to end up committing the foul. His second of the night.
It's like Ambrose Hilton coming back in for the last 25 seconds of the quarter here.
Will be about a second and a half difference between the shot clock and game clock as play resumes. Time running out here in the third quarter. Rattlers by 5. Stingers with the ball. Stingers content to take a little bit of time, and now East looks to make his move towards the basket. Running take, and once again he's able to get it. Still time for the Rattlers to make something happen as time expires for the Winnipeg Sea Bears with his 24 points. Will Richardson with 20 in the win. Ron Curry leading the way for Niagara with his 22, and Edmonton out of that timeout hits it.
Rattlers were expecting a 3 there.
Yeah.
Tate, very smart play by Tate Donald. Like, he knew he had enough time to make a couple dribbles.
Brought to you by Cal Tire. 10 minutes to go in this one. Saskatchewan with the ball and the 1-point lead. We heard from Jordan Baker at the half. He wasn't super thrilled with the way his team had been playing. Heather Morrison, you were listening in on the huddle there between quarters. What did you learn from Edmonton's side of things?
For Edmonton, it's all about defensive rebounds. They want to see, Jordan Baker wants to see more of that from his team. A lot of talk about how to manage Bediako under the net and actually complimenting Bursey for getting that block-out foul. They want to see more of that aggressiveness under the net. I also want to let you know, Bursey ended up with a bloody nose. He played 1 minute and 57 seconds of this game. Is there a CEBL league record on that? Because he's got it.
Hornsby's three-point attempt won't go. Thanks very much, Heather, for that. Remains a 1-point Saskatchewan lead. Isaac Simon able to keep the play alive. He's having another very strong game for the Saskatchewan Rattlers off the bench.
Well, I'm getting more minutes here in the second half with Devontae Bandu with those 4 fouls. Although, as I say that, numeral 0 is getting ready to check back in.
Jordan Bowden off the glass and in. That gives him 19 points on the night. Tevian Jones continuing to lead the way with his 23 for Saskatchewan. Lead back up to 3 for the Rattlers. Bounce pass picked off, read all the way by Tevian Jones. Rattlers have numbers in the other direction. Isaac Simon has to corral the pass. He can't get the 3 to drop. Jaden Bediako had his hands on it, then it gets knocked loose. Anticevich to the corner for 3.
Vancouver.
Right, yeah, which could happen for sure. Jordan Bowden, 22 points, 5 assists on the night. Outstanding effort for him coming out of the timeout. And the Rattlers lead is 6. Sean East, the second, controls. Rattlers have done a pretty good job of keeping him in check tonight. Nick Hornsby doing what he does, kind of clears some space there. And that's, I think, exactly what Jordan Bowden was saying as he inbounded, kind of saying that he got a little bit of an elbow. Bediako gets it knocked away by Boursier. Won't be a backcourt violation as that was touched by the Stingers. Boursier. Collision here between Bediako and Hornsby. Hornsby looking for a hand up from Bediako, and Bediako was too busy talking to the official, explaining why that wasn't a foul.
Yeah, this is that frustration bit that we talked about earlier where he gets a little too focused on the whistle or lack thereof, depending on the situation. And that's one where you just need to take your lumps and move on and refocus for this next defensive possession.
Rattlers lead down to 4, 7:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. East running take. Man, he's good at that shot.
Is there anyone better in the league at that particular move? I don't know. I don't think there is. Not right now.
Bandu matched up against Boursier. The lead down to 2. Anticevich has it go off his leg. Bandu able to keep the possession alive for Saskatchewan. Down to 7 on the shot clock. And then just too much traffic there for a bounce pass. So back come Edmonton.
And Jordan Baker just talking about how much of a comfort that is in a league with a lot of roster turnover to have a guy you can reliably depend on. You know what he's going to do. You can just slot him in as that starting power forward game in and game out. And he comes up with some important plays at critical moments.
All tied up at 81. Fallback shot. Nice touch once again. Tevian's had such a great touch tonight for the Saskatchewan Rattlers. He's up to 25. Gives the Rattlers the 2-point advantage. East will pick up the dribble. This is Hornsby in the corner. Anticevich trying to shut down his path. Ball comes loose. Jones will go on the run with it for Saskatchewan. Following the Edmonton turnover, Bandu almost loses it out of bounds, able to keep it alive, but throws it in the hands of Hornsby. Anticevich there with him, but there to clean it up, Scotty Lindsay. We're all tied up again.
They're going to go right down to the wire. Yeah. Once again, what a shock.
Feels like it, yeah.
What a shock.
It's a great game on Sunday in target time. So we get a foul called against Edmonton. Yeah, if you didn't see that game on Sunday, a thrilling end to that one. Really a scrambly end to that game.
It was a fascinating target score period.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk a bit more about it once we get to the one here tonight. But some strategic choices that we haven't seen a lot of in target time over the last few years. I thought it was really interesting to see how both teams approached some of the scenarios on Sunday.
Mason Boursier open look for three, a little bit long on that attempt, so we remain all knotted up at 83, under 6 minutes to go. Couple minutes away from target time, trying to work his way through and scoop it up and under. Unable to get it to drop is Bowden, but he will draw contact and head to the free throw line.
If he made that, he might have had to take a look at getting scouted for the USA gymnastics team for 2028 with the mid-air adjustment there by Jordan Bowden.
Heather Morrison standing by. What do you have for us, H-Mo?
Had a chance to pop into two Rattlers huddles in this quarter. The first one was, yeah, keep it up, it's great, okay. And the second one was, okay, you guys, back to those basics that we were working on. But the big thing that Coach Eric Magnus wants to see from his team is play with more pace. He doesn't want his team to have so much pressure on him at the half. So he wants to see them get in. And he said, if you need more help in the backcourt, let's do that. Let's be there for each other, but let's try to get over there with a little bit more pace.
Thank you, Heather. The lead now back down to 0 as soon as I say that, with a big dunk is once again left open for the big dunk, Keon Ambrose Hilton. And now a chance for Edmonton to take the lead. They've got numbers in the other direction. Scotty Lindsay back to Hornsby. Good little give and go action. The lead 2 for Edmonton, something they haven't enjoyed in quite some time.
Just keep hanging around, making enough plays.
Tevian Jones, a nice take, gets the friendly bounce. Back to tied up. Under 5 to go. East is going to spot up from 3-point distance. The lead 3 for the Stingers.
Oh, there was a little gap there. Bediako just a little slow to come out and contest that 3-point shot. And Sean East, well, that's not a guy you want to let get that look.
Talked about the fact that it was a bit of a slow start to the game for him. Yeah, Sean East is now up to 22 points, and a friendly bounce here. Jaden Bediako.
That might have been his longest made field goal of the season. He had his heels on the 3-point line there.
Makes it a 1-point Edmonton lead. They've got the ball. 4:20 to go, fourth quarter. Hornsby controls. Bandu on him. This is East. Really caught fire here in the second half. Can't hit the 3-pointer as the buzzer sounds.
Big possession here.
Yep. Next whistle will send us into target time. Saskatchewan Rattlers would dearly love to have the lead. Nice pass. Jaden Bediako gets it to go.
On Sunday, these teams each had 2 possessions under the 4-minute mark before we got into these kind of high-scoring shootouts. They've been on the wrong end of a couple against Vancouver. And now trying to avoid another loss here in Saskatoon.
That last foul on Jordan Bowden, which sent us into target time, gives Edmonton the first possession of target time. Scotty Lindsay with a few looks at it finally gets it to go.
Third time the charm, and just like that, Edmonton takes the initiative and gets the 1-point lead.
An issue with the shot clock, so they're going to restart this play for the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Gives me a minute to update you on the foul situation. No one in any foul trouble other than Devontae Bandu for the Saskatchewan Rattlers. He's got 4 personal fouls. Over on the Edmonton side of things, also with 4 personal fouls, Scotty Lindsay, 3 for Elijah Miller.
And just 2 team fouls apiece here in the fourth, so not any risk of getting into the penalty for either side. There's a good defensive play.
Yeah, Scotty Lindsay with the big block. Sean, he's looking to run, and there's a block on the other end. Jaden Bediako, Rattlers able to keep, unable to keep it alive. And you can see Tevian Scott saying he got pushed. That's why I went out of bounds.
Well,
I got a big shove.
I also think Jones thought he got up in the air and his feet launched from inbounds. And as he threw that desperation save, good look at it here. Oh, it's like
that kind of pulling those arms back.
That right foot may have come back down before he released the ball.
Some definite contact there and maybe a little there as well. Yeah, that's hard.
Smooth operation there by Hornsby, though, just gliding along the baseline for that too.
So the lead 3 for Edmonton. They are 6 points away from the target score, and once again the evening will come following that foul. That will pull Edmonton within 5 points of the target score. Boursier hits them both. It will remain Stinger's ball. Bediako does stay on the floor for the Saskatchewan Rattlers. They need his size out there. But now a field goal for Edmonton here puts them within 1 score of winning this one. Give and go to Boursier. That one no good. Follow-up won't go either.
Rattlers fortunate there because, of course, those unsporting fouls mean 2 shots and the ball. But the Stingers couldn't capitalize on the second half of that equation.
Bediako, though, a turnover. So now Edmonton on the run. Scotty Lindsay up and under. Beautiful move. Spins it home. Pulls the Stingers within 2 of the target score.
Stingers have completely shifted gears here in target score, and the Rattlers have kind of come apart a little bit.
Saskatchewan looking for their first points of target time. It won't come on that attempt, but Devontae Bandu will hit for 3.
For the Rattlers to pull it off again. They've had an 11-point target time comeback this season as well against Ottawa, but the Stingers look like they have renewed determination here.
If this hits for Sean East II, the game is over, and the game is over. Sean East II, well, he